Howdy y'all. Hey y'all, it's Tali and welcome to today's video. In today's video, we're doing a hashtag designer DIY with Tali. Designer DIYs is a series on my YouTube channel where I recreate designer things myself. So in today's designer DIY, I'm going to be recreating my own Loveshackfancy Inspired Cowboy Hat. I love representing my city and my culture, and a cowboy hat is a staple living here. About a year ago, I was very excited and very grateful because I had the opportunity to go to the opening of my Loveshackfancy store, and I have a whole video on that. I will link it here on the screen. But at this opening, one of the main things I saw that they had customized cowboy boots, but they also had customized cowboy hats. So using the inspiration pics of the hats, which I'm going to put here on the screen, I decided to take it upon myself to try to recreate my own Loveshackfancy Inspired Cowboy Hat. So here's the hat. This is the front of the hat. I did, of course, a bow, and I added a little star on top, and I did these little flowers at the bottom. On the side here, I actually added a little ribbon bow, and I didn't want to leave the back plain, so I did add my own little monogram, and I also added a couple little flowers on the side as well. In this video, I'm going to show you guys everything you need to recreate this hat and how I did it as well. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Tali Ruta and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you haven't already, make sure to follow me on all social medias here on the screen, down in the description below, especially Instagram because I'm definitely going to be posting pics in this hat. And without further ado, let's get into this designer DIY with Tali. Now let's get into the materials you'll need to make your own cowboy hat. So the first thing you're going to need is a hat. Now, I bought my hat locally, but there are very similar hats on Amazon, which I will link down in the description below. And something I want to point out about this hat is that it is not a felt hat. It is a true cowboy hat, and that's going to be really important, especially painting the hat, because the paint is just going to go on smoother. If you used a felt hat, the paint would not go on as well as a canvas hat. The next thing you're going to need is paint. This hat is totally your own. You can totally do other colors. You don't have to do pink. You could totally do different designs. You could do different anything, but I used a lot of pinks and greens for my hat. And this is optional depending on the type of hat you have, but I wanted to add some ribbon to my hat for a trim, so you could also get any ribbon you would like to add to your hat. So I know there is that leftover glue you can see from the hat, which I am going to cover up later, but the first thing I'm going to start doing is drawing the design I want on my hat. I'm gonna use the photos as inspiration and as a guide to kind of draw what I want and just kind of sketch out basically what I'm going to paint. And next I'm going to start on the flowers. So as you guys can tell, my flowers are not that extravagant. I'm just kind of doing something simple, and again, I am going to be painting over it, so I'm hoping the paint will jazz it up and make it pop more, but I'm just doing a simple basic drawing of the flowers. Now I am working on the sides, and of course I had to add another bow, so I'm just adding another bow and some more flowers. And because I didn't want to leave the hat plain, I decided on the back of the hat to add my initial. I thought that would be super cute. Alright, now it's time for the fun part, to start painting the hat. The first thing I'm going to start painting are all the stuff in pink. I'm going to paint the bow pink, the T pink, and the bow in the back pink as well. Alright guys, so I did the base of the bow. I also did the little bow back here. While I was filming this, my camera actually died. And then I did the T on the back, but while I still have this pink paint out, I'm gonna start doing the roses now. So now I'm adding some lighter colors to the flowers just to give it kind of some depth. I'm adding a lighter pink and some white. So I'm gonna start adding this darker pink to kind of make the flowers pop and add some depth to them. But the funny thing about this is that this pink and the pink that I've been using like for the base of the hat, both of those colors are from my, if any of you guys remember my American Girl doll X Loveshackfancy doll trunk. These are both of the colors that I used for the trunk, and now I'm also using them on the hat. For the flowers, I'm just gonna kind of add it here and there to kind of make the illusions of the petals and also to add that pop. All right, sorry I only did one side of the bow on camera. My heart was literally like racing when I was painting this, but I think it turned out really cute and I really like how dark the other pink is, and it makes like a really nice contrast with the light pink. But now it's time to do the back. So I have been painting the back. I did paint the T, I painted the bow, I painted the flowers, but now it's time to add the darker shade of pink. Alright, so now with the darker pink, here is the front of the hat with the bow and the flowers. And then here is the back of the hat with the T, the bow, and the 2 flowers. Now it's time to add the leaves. Also, just like with the pink, I am going to be using some different shades of greens to add depth to the leaves. And something I want to say before we start is I'm very excited to do the leaves because I think it's going to really make the hat look complete and look alive. But I'm kind of worried because I don't want to add too much leaves. Alright, so now I'm going to start my leaves. I'm going to start off by using the light green to kind of just have it as the base color, as I said, and I'm just going to work my way up with the other colors, but right now I'm just doing the basics, just getting kind of all the leaves drawn, or I should say painted, that I want on the hat, and we're just going to go from there. Alright, so here's the front of the hat, looking pretty good if I do say so myself. There is some gaps, but I'm gonna fill it in with some more pink, not more flowers. I'm gonna add like little hearts. But now that we did the front, I'm gonna just do the same thing on the back, just gonna add some greenery and some leaves here and there. Alright, so here is the back of the hat. I added the leaves to this side, and now while I was doing this side, my camera actually died, but that is that side, and while the green paint is still out, I'm going to continue with the leaves, but on the front, but I'm actually going to start adding them to the bow. Using the photos of the other Love Shack hats as inspiration, I'm going to kind of create something here at the top. I'm going to do kind of like a bouquet of flowers, and then I'm going to also add a little star on top just to kind of complete the whole hat. So, as I predicted, I went a little too crazy with the leaves. Now, however, I'm still gonna make this work. So my plan after adding the leaves was to add another flower like the ones down here, and then I wanted to add a little star on top here. The original hat has about 3 more flowers on top, but since I drew my leaves so big, I'm just gonna add 1 flower and then the star. So now I'm gonna paint this flower again, paint this star, and then I'm gonna add the little hearts around here and here on the brim. Alright guys, I added the hearts and I think they look so cute. I think they just had like the perfect touch and the perfect like pop of more pink and like girliness, and I just love how they turned out. Now that we did the hearts, this leads us to the last step of the hat. Well, I lied, not the last step, but the last painting part of the hat. I'm gonna start adding the dark green details with my dark green paint to the leaves. I'm also gonna be adding a couple more leaves here and there. Alright guys, here's the hat finished, and I loved how it turned out. I love the bow, I love the colors, I love the pink. I think it all looks so well together. At that last part there, I just added that dark green. You can kind of see it better here. I just added that dark green for some contrast. And then I also finished the back of the hat I added the dark green and the leaves here, and then as well on this side I added the dark green and the leaves on that rose as well. Now I know that this yellow like old residue of glue has been exposed the whole video throughout the whole time I've been painting the hat, but originally on the hat there was this band and it did leave some glue residue, but I did say I had a plan to cover it, and we are going to be using just some pink ribbon to cover that up. I got this the other day for the hat and I think it matches perfectly. I mean, like, look at that, the pink and the shimmer, so good. Well, there you guys have it. Thank you so much for watching this designer DIY with Tali. I am so happy with how the hat turned out. I love the design. I love the colors. I love even just the little T on the back that I added. I love it. I love it so much. And I'm really happy to have one of my own Loveshackfancy Inspired Cowboy Hats. I gotta give credit to Loveshack and their designs and their brand. They're just an amazing brand. I love their stuff. I fall in love with it. And I want every single thing that they put on display. If you have any questions about making your own cowboy hat, make sure to leave me a comment down in the description below and I'll make sure to get back to you as soon as possible. I had so much fun making this DIY. Crafting is the root of who I am, and it just feels so nice to have some time to craft again and to make some pretty fun things. Again, my name is Tali Ruta and thank you so much for stopping by at my YouTube channel. And if you haven't already, make sure to follow me on all social medias here on the screen, down in the description below. I love you all so much and I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful, fantastic, amazing, gorgeous, fabulous day.